The next wave of James Bond pops has finally been announced. The James Bond licence had for a long time eluded Funko until a first wave was announced in July 2017 and released in the December of that year. 9 figures were released, as well as a special edition Pop Ride, with Sean in the DB5. These pops soon started appearing for reduced prices, and with no further models announced, it was assumed that, due to poor sales, there would be no further Bond pops. Rumours started circulating that Funko had lost the Bond licence that they fought so hard to obtain, and that Danjaq were blocking licensees from producing merchandise for modern-day Bond films. The new James Bond and Friends podcast were also filled with glee when they could announce the end of the James Bond pops. Unfortunately, there is still a lot of snobbery that surrounds Bond merchandise, with some believing that Bond collectibles should be more grown up. That's what makes the latest announcement all the more pleasing. Not only do we get a new set of 9 Bond pops, but 7 of them are from the modern era. We also get our first ever Craig era models outside of the cars. We get another well-known Bond henchman to add to the 2 previous releases, as well as the most iconic Bond girl of all time. Interestingly, a Jinx figure, part of the original announced figures before being replaced by Blofeld, has still not made an appearance, despite also appearing on the Wave 2 list late last year. Baron Samedi joins Oddjob and Jaws as one of the more recognisable henchmen for the more casual fan. The model represents Samedi as he appears in his final confrontation with Bond. Honey Rider is also instantly recognisable in her famous white bikini, complete with knife, shell and wet hair following her emerging from the sea. Judi Dench is represented for the first time in pop form in her typical M-style outfit, which has been particularly influenced by her appearance in Quantum. The Craig-era Moneypenny makes her model form debut, and Naomi Harris also gets her first pop, which she was particularly pleased about. Here she is dressed as she was in the pre-title sequence of Skyfall. The Chiffre comes complete with the infamous rope that did a number on Bond's private parts, and although technically inaccurate for the scene the model is from, he also has a bleeding eye, so there's no mistaking who this is. Now we turn our attention to the multiple Bond pops, and this is where I have a few minor criticisms. Pierce Brosnan was always going to be a tricky one, as he doesn't have the most distinctive of features. He does have darker brown hair than the Moore and Connery pops, and slight points in his hair, but I can't help but feel he looks more like Richard Madden. Maybe this is a good sign for his chances of playing Bond in the future. The Craig models come with blonde hair, of course, so there's no mistaking which Bond he is. However, the films the blue-suited Craig models are supposed to be representing appear to be incorrect. The Casino Royale Craig looks more like the Craig from Skyfall, with the suit that he wore in the casino and at Silver's abandoned hideout. To fit with the other Bond pops, the Casino Royale Craig should have been in a black suit, matching his attire that he wears when battling a Chiffre at poker. That being said, the Quantum of Solace Craig would fit his appearance at the very end of Royale better. Craig strikes that pose with that gun in the teaser poster and trailer for Quantum, but not in the film itself. There is one exclusive model in the form of the white tux Daniel Craig from Spectre. However, this exclusive is easier to obtain than usual, particularly if you're in the UK or US, as you can order it from the 007 store. This model will fit in very nicely with the 2 previous white tux Bonds in the form of Connery and Moore. In the UK, all of these models are available from the 007 store, but they can also be found on the more regular pop stockists, including Amazon, Pop in a Box and Zavvi. Pop in a Box are currently the cheapest, but if ordering in multiples of 3, their more well-known sister company Zavvi work out at the same price, with cheaper postage. Zavvi also have 5 of the original James Bond pops for the bargain price of £15, with a code for free postage at the time of posting this video. Zavvi and Pop in a Box are both the same price for US customers, although more stockists are available for you, so be sure to shop around. As with the first wave, it's still unknown when these pops will become available, with Amazon suggesting August for some and November for the others, the 007 store expecting to ship in September, and Pop in the Box having pushed their date back to October. Overall, these pops make a nice addition to the first wave, and it's good to finally see the Craig films being represented. With such a rich history and a vast array of well-known characters to choose from, it's unlikely that each wave of models is going to fully please everyone, but they're doing the right thing in terms of releasing a mix of Bond girls, villains, henchmen and MI6 staff. Let me know in the comments which models you'd like to see in Wave 3, as well as any special edition models like another pop ride. Thanks for watching.